As people emerge from weeks of lockdown, they face an array of new measures to try and keep the virus in check and protect society's most vulnerable. The signs mounted so far went up at speed, but look likely to become commonplace and could be in use for years. Signs related to COVID-19 should also ideally have their own distinctive color, which will become instantly recognizable. Iran is scrambling to buy millions of tons of wheat, corn and soybeans to shore up its reserves, Reuters reported Iranian officials and traders are saying, despite assertions by President Hassan Rouhani that the coronavirus would not endanger food supplies. Iran's bumper grain crops will guarantee citizens ample staple foods to the end of the Iranian year in March 2021, as the impact of the pandemic has not spread to farming. Iran needs to import 4 million tons of wheat, 1.5 million tons of barley, 700,000 tons of raw sugar, and 5 to 4 million tons of corn in the Iranian year ending March 2021. Palestinian officials said that Israel is forcing banks in the occupied West Bank to close accounts held by the families of prisoners in Israeli jails to prevent the Palestinian authorities from providing stipends to them. Israel has long objected to the Palestinian authorities' payments to the families of prisoners and those killed in the conflict, including militants saying it rewards terrorism. The Palestinians view the payments as a social safety net for those living under decades of military occupation. The Lebanese government has launched a new phase of repatriating expatriates, creating greater challenges in the fight against the coronavirus outbreak. The Ministry of Health registered 33 new cases of COVID-19 among repatriated nationals in the past 48 hours, and only one local infection, raising the total number to 784 since the first reported case in February. The Ministry of Health later announced in a statement that all the tests conducted for expats came negative. With the crash of Lebanon's national currency that sent food prices soaring, the Lebanese government placed a plan to fight inflation. During the cabinet session, Industry Minister Imad Hubala said measures would be taken to fight soaring food prices, while Justice Minister Marie-Claude Negm said that her ministry was following up on complaints made by the economy minister on price hikes. Protests erupted across the country late last month against the soaring unemployment and poverty. Iran's health ministry spokesperson urged Iranians to take social distancing more seriously as he announced more than 1,500 new coronavirus cases in the country. He said 55 new virus fatalities in the past 48 hours took the overall death toll in the health crisis to 6,541. He said another 1,556 people tested positive for the novel coronavirus over the same period of time, taking the country's caseload to 104,691. Amid mounds of rubble and the ruins of buildings destroyed during nearly a decade of war, a Ramadan iftar meal has reunited a community in northwestern Syria. Dozens of men and children sat out on a long line of blankets on the ground in the town of Atarib for the iftar during the holy month of Ramadan. Many have returned to the town from camps for the displaced since the March ceasefire halted the most recent regime offensive against the opposition held territory. A Lebanese security official said that the head of the Money Changers Union has been arrested and is currently under investigation. He was arrested at the request of Lebanon's financial prosecutor on charges of tampering with the value of the Lebanese pound. 45% of Lebanon's population now lives below the poverty line, and tens of thousands of people have lost their jobs or seen salaries slashed because of the downturn. The World Health Organization said that although a market in the Chinese city of Wuhan selling live animals likely played a significant role in the emergence of the new coronavirus, it does not recommend that such markets be shut down globally. To date, China has not invited WHO or other external experts to be part of the investigation. WHO food safety and animal diseases expert Peter Ben Imbach said China likely has the necessary expertise to conduct such studies, and WHO has not noted any problems in China's willingness to collaborate with others. The race to develop a vaccine that would end the coronavirus pandemic is accelerating as several firms move to clinical trials, as the World Health Organization declared that there is no vaccine before the end of 2021. The development and mass distribution of a vaccine is widely seen as the most likely way to bring the coronavirus pandemic under control. Governments across the world have pumped money into vaccine research as pharmaceutical companies, startup businesses, universities and research institutes work night and day to develop a vaccine. Scientists said extreme heat and humidity are increasing across the globe, threatening millions of lives and economies in places where it could become fatal to work outdoors. Parts of Australia, India, Bangladesh, the Gulf states, China, Mexico and the United States have experienced hundreds of previously rare incidents of extreme heat and humidity since 1979. Many scientists are examining the potential increase in extreme heat and its impact on economies and health, with mental health problems set to soar as people have trouble sleeping and working. Sudan's Committee to Combat the Coronavirus announced that it will renew and tighten movement restrictions in the capital as the country's case count increased to nearly 1,000 infections and 52 deaths. Sadiq Tawir Kafi, member of the ruling Sovereignty Council, said Sudan will extend the lockdown for Khartoum and its province for 10 days to May 19th. The government also extended the ban on communal praying in mosques through nearly the end of the Islamic holy fasting month of Ramadan. Egypt has sent a letter to the members of the United Nations Security Council on the latest development of the controversial Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam file. Ethiopia had announced at the time that it would continue to build the Renaissance Dam and fill the reservoir, regardless of the interests of the other countries. The Ethiopian announcement came in response to an American statement which emphasized that the final trial and the filling of the Renaissance Dam's reservoir should not be carried out without reaching a joint agreement among Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan. EU Ambassador to Egypt Ivan Serkas said the European Union has provided 89 million euros to the Egyptian health sector to help authorities manage the coronavirus crisis. Serkas affirmed to Egypt that the EU is showing solidarity with Egypt as a strategic partner in the face of the novel coronavirus. He added that the EU will cooperate with Egypt while taking into account social and economic sustainable development after the end of the crisis. According to an official statement by the U.S. State Department, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be resuming travel to visit Israel on May 13th. Pompeo will meet with the Prime Minister in Jerusalem to discuss American and Israeli efforts to fight the coronavirus pandemic, as well as regional security issues related to Iran's influence.